How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lo4f, and today I'm going to go and do a contract called Lo4f, which is on the Institute map. You basically just got to go and explore some buildings. The reason I wanted to get it done though is because then it unlocks another mission called something like the Wanderer, I can't remember what, and then that unlocks quite a few others, it seems. Yeah, I'm setting off from the Heartlands map, so I'm going to go through that gateway. Instead of going along all that like wiggly dirt road there, I'm just going to kind of rally across the field, connect back up with the road, and then I could loop round on that road and cross there, but I wanted to have a little sneaky peek on this island, as I don't think I've been there so far. And yeah, for this one I'm going to take the Tayga, like they called it Tony the Tayga, the newer Tayga out of the two. I was just noticing as well, I was randomly going through the stuff you could put on the side of the loaf, and it's got that green goblin thing that was what was that film, Maximum Overdrive or something, where all the cars and trucks have a mind of their own. Yeah, the Tony the Tayga though, got a goddamn horse for me, obviously. There's another goddamn professional, is still hanging on to the ball. Yeah, the reason I'm going to go from the Heartlands map instead of Crossroads, well, at the time when I was just deciding which way to go, I've already, when I did like explore the Institute map and stuff, I went from the Crossroads map. So I just decided to kind of see what this gateway is like, because I've never actually gone through it before, but it turns out it's kind of the best option. It'll be easy to explain later, but you end up kind of popping out nearer to the first place you've got to go. Because for this mission, there's 4 different places you've got to explore, and as you can see in the top right of the corner at the minute, I'm just seeing if those hay bales still disappear when you ram them, and they do. Yeah, I was kind of thinking, oh, I wonder if I've passed the other 3 kind of checkpoints you've got to find, and that's why there's only one showing up in the top right. But then as I was looking around the map, I was thinking I'm pretty sure I've not been to at least one of the places, if not both of them. Yeah, long story short, and I didn't realise this just until just happy coincidence that I was going to that place anyway. It's kind of like, it doesn't really tell you very clearly, but the first place you go to is like stage 1 of the mission, and then once you do that it unlocks the other 3 places. I don't know why as well, there's someone outside. I think it might be a farmer trimming the hedges. It's probably nearer 6 in the morning now, but he started doing about half an hour ago. Gets on that nice and early. That's what she said. Yeah, this is where I could have just carried on following the road, but I wanted to have a little look what's going on down here. I think I collected another mission as well. Still got quite a few missions on these maps that I've not collected. Every time I seem to go past one of these yellow squares, I have a quick check, and yeah, sort of like 90% of them at the minute. Sort of say that like where you click X to accept, so still got quite a few to go through. So there's like some trees laying down in the middle of here, which I got caught on pretty quickly. I'm not sure, maybe like they seem to have dialed up how much these sort of trees block you. Maybe it was this in mind where they decided to dial it up a bit. But yeah, go off to the left and sort of climb over these rocks. It went pretty well. There's another tree there that was trying to stop me. It was close here because it was trying to bump up the front and the rear wheels at the same time, but the axle's got a nice bit of flex to them. I've got the custom muds on this as well. Again, they're not my favourite tyre in terms of grip. They seem a little bit disappointing for like big fat chunky custom muds. But they just sit nice and wide, and they do look pretty nice. Quite often, I tend to pick tyres that I like the look of more than. I mean, obviously, I know that sort of muds and the chained I like are probably at the top of the tree. I don't really choose like the all-terrain tyres and that, but yeah, especially within a certain group of tyres, it doesn't give us very good details on the stats of the tyres, so I just kind of pick whichever tread pattern looks the nicest. But yeah, these tyres, the custom muds, they do actually sit nice and wide, so helps with the air balancing. See a goddamn professional in the background there. It's not even one of mine. It's just Lo4f doing natural Lo4f things. His natural habitat should get, what's his name, David Attenborough. And here we have a wild Lo4f. these dirt roads as driving along as well, I actually quite like it. They're more severe than you'd sort of realise. They're definitely not really like the dirt roads on most of the maps. But again, it feels more natural as a way of slowing us down. At least they are kind of super muddy, but at least they kind of look like they probably would be, especially like the sort of tyre ruts sit pretty deep. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to drive through that area. Spotted me a little loaf. There's a trailer up here as well. Don't know what got caught on there. A log by the looks of it. Yeah, even though I've technically like explored this area via radar trailers and the watchtowers. That horn made a trailer jump, which I assume will be some kind of rescue in the future. It's nice though. I like that there's still plenty of missions and that going on this map, or just this phase, I mean. And yeah, apologies for skipping the live stream yesterday. I felt pretty damn rough. I'm glad I did as well, because half an hour later, I felt like I was about to be sick and everything. I had a pretty bad headache, like migraine, that I'd had for the last couple of days. I think ever since the clocks went forward last week, or back, sorry. I went to bed that day and it was kind of normal after last week's live stream, but I woke up a lot earlier than normal. And then every day for the last week I've been losing like an hour of sleep, so I've got like 6 hours that day and then 5 hours and 4 hours, etc. And then yeah, on Friday I barely slept. Tried to have that as the day that kind of fucked me up. And then I went to bed, got up on Saturday, didn't really sleep, was about to go sleep in the afternoon, but it was bonfire night over here. So there's a bonfire show thing in like the field opposite my house, so yeah, I come out 5:30, 6 o'clock, fireworks are going off outside, and my cat jumped up on my bed. He didn't actually seem scared, to be fair. He just, I don't know, I think he heard me move and then was like, yes, now's my time. Yeah, now I'm on the, the Institute map. You've got these 4 locations. You're best off doing them in order of, I think it's like 1, 2, 4, 3. They're kind of just, they're in a weird pattern if you just follow them like one by one. But essentially I'm just doing like a big lap of the map, really. Like I said, in the end it's just best off to come through the Heartlands Gateway, because you're just kind of already over this side of the map. And that's where it worked out sort of quite nicely, as I was just drawing a lap around the map, that I was going to head to this place I'm going now first anyway. But yeah, it was only once I got that checkpoint I realised that it just says like stage 1 complete, and then it unlocks the other 3 locations, so I'm pretty certain like it's sort of done that, you know, stages before. You couldn't really go any other way. And then if you did come from the Crossroads Gateway, it'd make more sense to go for the checkpoint that is last on my list doing it today, but again, I don't think it'd let you. Nice little jump there, and of course I hit the only rock in the middle of the whole bloody field. One thing I do like about this Tayga is how close to the back the tyres are. I could still put a crane on this, so it'd obviously scoot the sideboard back a bit, but clearly there'll still be enough room for a trailer. But yeah, it just so then if you're going up like a steep hill, the back isn't going to catch, pretty much guaranteed. One thing I wasn't too keen on about this Tayga though is the steering on it is not that great. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely, yeah, there's pretty wide turning circle overall, and there's a few times I had to do a few 3-pointers to get out of there. Crossing over here, it looks pretty similar, to be honest, to the on the Heartlands map. Again, I keep Heartlands and Crossroads, I keep getting mixed up which one's which. Yeah, kind of looks pretty similar. Another bridge that's out that I'm assuming we'll never get to repair. But again, I actually do quite like cutting across the rivers. Yeah, so you got to go in here. I was kind of eyeballing at the top, hence why I hit that wall. It looks like you could just drive in here and skip straight through to there, but there's a load of stuff piled in the way, so you've got to kind of go in the long way. Yeah, definitely what she said. you just got to kind of do a lap right around the edge of this warehouse. See, places like that, the steering really isn't that decent on this thing. I'm not sure if the custom muds make a difference, but I don't know. I kind of doubt it, because the normal Tayga has custom muds that I have on quite a lot, and from what I remember, the normal Tayga is like steering's pretty quick. And then yeah, get here, there's now someone else collapsed over here. There was a little glitch there. I gave it a little nudge just to see if I kind of had a feeling it wouldn't, but you never know. You got to find these things out. Yeah, it wasn't going to let me go over it. It wouldn't even bump like my bumper up, so I could try and rally over it. But it's cut through here. Again, there's another time where the steering would be nice if it was a little bit sharper. I'm not sure as well. Normally, I put like the smallest bumper on, but for whatever reason, I just like the look of this bumper. But I think it does stick out a little bit. Probably wasn't helping too much. Yeah, it's the blue square you want to get when you're here, and you see now it says stage completed, and then in the top right, all the other 3 locations become unlocked. But for whatever reason, yeah, they are in a weird order. So. But it doesn't appear to matter which order you do them in. Just now you've got all 3 unlocked. Just as long as you do this one first. Just collected that mission. Some was it like, must be like a oversized cargo thing appeared. There's a red tractor trailer thing there, and I could have just gone back the way I came. I was eyeballing. On the way, there's a fence on the other side that looked like I could knock it down. So I thought, we'll see. Looks a bit tight, but let's see if we can squeeze it through here. Again, that's definitely what she said. Is it going to fit? Not a fucking chance. Reminds me of when I tried to lose my virginity when I was 15. It went about the same. So yeah, a couple of 3-point turns. That big fat oak tree thing in the middle kind of blocks your view of it. I don't know what the hell this is either. It's like some kind of statue, but I don't know what the... I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Look at it. God knows. I was hoping as well, once you kind of got that blue box, that there'd be like a ramp on the other side, so you could just kind of ramp over the crap that's in the way and get straight back to the gateway, but no, it's going to make you go around the long way. For some reason, there's a painting on that building, which is like a squid arm, tentacle thing, whatever it is, wrapped around a lighthouse for whatever reason. You could break out of that way, which, to be fair, I didn't bother in the end, because I'm just going to have to go onto the map and kind of delete the waypoints, but yeah, you could just break out of that top end of the, I don't know, this warehouse compound place. And of course, I knew I'd clip my tyres, but it's a little bit harsh on this game when you clip something like that. Deleted my suspension, blew a tyre, and broke my fuel tank. Thankfully, got a goddamn horse with me. Never leave home without him. See, this is how I've learnt the hard way. Because if I didn't have a Lo4f on me now, this is the point where I'd have to save the video footage, and then I've either got to go back to, especially on this map, the Institute, because there is no garage or anything, so I'd have to load up back to the Heartlands or whatever, bring another vehicle over, most likely a goddamn horse, and then yeah, do it that way. And what do you see now? 30 seconds, if that. It's got me all fixed up and we're ready to go. Well, only because of my pre-planning, but I have got other loaves already scattered on this map, so strictly speaking, I could have gone and borrowed one of them. But again, it kind of comes back to the same point, that take a goddamn horse everywhere with me. I think the snorkels on this truck don't quite go to the roof as well. It's not the end of the world, didn't really cause me too much hassle tonight or anything. But yeah, there's another bridge. It looks like you can actually fix that one at some point though. Which I probably should get around to doing, really. It's just tough to know which, like, thing to pick first. I still need to do the Harvest Corp exploration, which I'll get that done pretty soon, because I kind of want to check out what's going on that map. And then, yeah, I've got to pick another goddamn professional. I need to pick another review video to do as well, which I've got 2 more of the Wolfpack trucks to do. I've got the crocodile truck, but I'm not desperate to do that one because I've already kind of missed the boat by quite a way. I might do the step pike review next. It's close there, you see, I almost tipped there, and I can't say 100%, but the fact that these custom muds do sit a bit wider might have helped there. It wouldn't have mattered because even if I tipped over, I've got an autonomous winch on this loaf, so he's absolutely guaranteed to escape even if he doesn't already land where he can just fire his engine up. And at this point I could have just followed the road along the top of the map and gone round sort of the long way, but I quite like just drawing a line across the map. Again, this phase doesn't really punish you for doing that, which I quite like. I always remember back on Lake Covd, I think it was, when it just absolutely kept punishing me everywhere I went that was off the road. It just made you go 1 mile an hour, which made for pretty kind of slow footage while I was at it, and every video was like a lot longer because of it. I just ended up following the roadway until you find like the kind of a semi-frozen river lake thing going up the middle of the map, and that made things a lot easier, at least to just travel to like each different corner of the map sort of thing, and then suffer from there. But yeah, cutting across the map, it was going pretty nicely. I was just eyeballing that hill, so I've got to go into the warehouse. I was just seeing, could I hit that hill and jump the wall, but it was probably a little bit too Dukes a hazard. Probably not enough speed going on there. It did cross my mind. Yeah, because I already knew, like, I'd never been in this warehouse before. I know I've driven past it, but I was thinking, surely I haven't collected the waypoints already. But yeah, just it doesn't explain it, but there's like stage 1 and stage 2 of this mission. You see now with the turning circle again, I was already planning to stick it in reverse, but yeah. I think there's some pretty big trucks in this game, even stuff like the Collob's probably got a better turning circle than this. There's another trailer there as well, yellow trailer, so that's 2 of the 3. I assume somewhere on the map there's going to be a blue trailer. Well, that's why I wanted, partly anyway, why I wanted to get this mission done, because then yeah, it unlocks, again, I think it was called something like the Wanderer, or I think there was more words in it than that. So then once I've unlocked that and I go and do that Wanderer contract, whatever it is, then it unlocks. I just went down the list of contracts tonight, or most of them. I was just trying to see like what's coming up, what needs to be done to unlock them, because I've only got 3 missions or contracts available in like the middle set of contracts, but there's still about another 15 odd that are locked, so I just wanted to see what's actually gonna start unlocking more of them. And there's various ones that unlock warehouses and fuel stations and repair places and all that, so I wanted to start chipping into them a little bit more. Again, there's a couple of little glitches going on tonight. Thankfully they're only like half-second glitches, so it's nothing too crazy. And then when I got to this point, it kind of slowed me down quite a bit there, but I was like, fair enough, sometimes it does when you're in high gear. And then I already started leaning a little bit, which I was like, well, that's happening a little bit quick. And then, yeah, went to abort mission because it looked like I was just going to start dunking my truck. Stuck it in reverse, and even though I'm not really in the current, it wasn't letting me reverse, so I just kind of kept doing it until I had a bit of a diagonal angle, just so the current doesn't just tip me over pretty easily. Yeah, dropped the hammer, so you can see taking a little bit of engine damage. I wasn't too worried because I've still got the goddamn horse. If I was taking more engine damage, what I would have done is turn the Tayga engine off and unpack the loaf and done a zombie winch just to get me across the rest of the way. I've still got 10 repair points in the loaf, but when I fixed that suspension earlier after smashing into that little wall, actually had to take a beating there. That's for making the river crossing awkward. Yeah, like the suspension nailed kind of most of my repair points, but again, loaf is packing major refract, so you still have points to spare. I have no regrets. I could have gone round this trailer, but I have to assert my dominance. Which again is logging trailer. God knows it'll be some mission in the future. Thankfully, this truck ticks along quite nicely in high gear. It's a little bit... It kicks you out of high gear. It's easier than some trucks. It's not terrible, but it's definitely some vehicles like the Voron Grad. There's one that just sticks out in my head. Yeah, practically. And like the Tatra Phoenix. Even if you're near enough stop, they never kick you out of high gear. This one's a little bit moany about it. I was just saving the footage quickly. Just eyeballing that yellow square there, but from the, sort of like a stopwatch thing, so it's it'll be a contest of some sort, so I'll leave that. And then yeah, at this point, I noticed my fuel was running pretty low, so again, got a goddamn horse, he's got fuel on him, so I kind of knew I was safe, but just for the sakes of curiosity, particularly for this last bit, I was like trying to just drop the hammer, do a bit of speed running, see if I could actually make it to the last checkpoint without needing any more fuel. I wasn't really looking properly, but there is logs under the water here. I was kind of veering off to the left a little bit, hence why I think I got caught there. And yeah, you can see, for the most part, once you're actually wound up in high gear, it's not too bad. I keep kind of skirting around these rough sections. Is that... I'm not sure if that was a tree. A dead tree. I think that looked more like, I don't know, kind of two trees tied together. Detonate that fence. No offence. Yeah, I kind of remember this bit from the first Watchtower. So I'm essentially, not completely, but the gateway from Crossroads to here. Is it Crossroads? Yeah. That's kind of on my right as I cross this big main road now. So to my right is where you'd enter the map if you came from Crossroads, but as I said, you'll just end up basically driving the route I am now, past where I came from the Heartlands gateway, then to the first section, then just do a big fat lap, and then you're going to end up doubling back on yourself driving over here. Which looks like there's another bridge I've got to fix at some point. It's one of them though. I'm kind of not in any major rush to fix the bridges. Maybe at some point it'll make sense if there's like a mission where I've got quite a lot of cargo and all the rest of it. Quite a few of the missions don't really seem very cargo heavy. I've noticed a few that are though. And yeah, which I'm glad about, because I'd like to get some road trains going on at some point, but just the missions and contracts I've been doing so far, there's not really been much need to. And yeah, I'm not going to go out my way to bring like an entire road train situation going on if I don't need to, especially that it makes you go a little bit slower once you're in a road train. Yeah, you can see it kicked me out of high gear there. It wasn't quite because I was running out of fuel, but then just afterwards it was. I didn't even need to unpack the loaf. I could have used the Lo4f rack, but I just thought, sod it, I'm not that far off where I need to get to, so I'll just borrow the fuel out of the loaf. Like, what a goddamn gentleman. He gave me all his fuel, he saved 1 litre for himself, which probably do a whole lap of the map on 1 litre. It wouldn't let him actually, because it'll do that stupid, like, you're running out of fuel thing. Yeah, best to go around them trees. It was about now, by the way, in typical fashion, where my cat decided, like, oh, are you in the most difficult section trying to avoid trees? It's about time that I jump up and headbutt your remote and block the TV with its big fat bushy tail. Hence why the camera wasn't moving very much at this point. And then now, I've drove past here before. I came this way the other day in the Zik 605R, and I didn't even really notice, but yeah, this thing was not liking getting up this concrete slab. You can see the front tyre was bumping around a bit. I edited a bit out there because I was just spent like 30 seconds flooring it to see if the tyre would jump up. It didn't in the end, so I kind of aimed for the little gap in the middle. That's what I said. Just to like wedge my tyre up, typical. It does a little glitch, and then the concrete slab decided to try and delete my suspension once more. Which that's why I was saving those last 10 points on the loaf, just because then if the suspension did get deleted again, I could just do the last 10 points. I've said it before, but it'd be nice, like, when I was fixing the suspension and everything on this Tayga, I had to give 240 repair points to fix the suspension. It'd be nice if you could ration it out a little bit and just fix like half the suspension and save more points. But yeah, we got here, this little bale jumps out of there, don't know what he's up to. Pretty suspicious. Yeah, and that's that in the bag. Like I said, not anything crazy in and of itself. The mission, it's only like 3,000 odd you get as well. But yeah, just the fact that it unlocks more contracts that I want to start getting into, and just get more stuff unlocked on some of these maps. So yeah, anyway, that's another one in the bag. That's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my Patreon members. Get yourself a loaf because it's a goddamn beast. Saved me twice on the repairs and the fuel. And yeah, I'll be back soon.